Quick Dick McDick coming to you from Saskatchewan here today with a Quick Dick McDick Toonie, where you get $2 worth of my opinions because 2 cents don't buy very much anymore. Today, we are talking about the election.
So, recently in a campaign stop in Richmond, BC,
You know, the campaign for a $600 million election that this guy called 2 years early that has a whole bunch of politicians flying around on a bunch of jets all over the country that burn 640 gallons of jet fuel an hour while trying to tell everybody that he cares so much about the environment?
the Sultan of Sparkle Socks, Justin Trudeau, had this to say about how he feels for the people of Alberta and Saskatchewan.
And I feel bad, really bad, for those people in Alberta and Saskatchewan who've stepped up to do the right thing. Yes, it's a lower number than elsewhere in the country as a proportion, but it's still a majority of Albertans and Saskatchewans who've gotten vaccinated.
I'm sorry, did he just say Albertans and Saskatchewans?
Wait a minute. Now, that reminds me of somebody. Can we roll that clip again?
And I feel bad, really bad.
I've got it. I know who it is.
Really ridiculously good looking.
Really bad.
The resemblance is uncanny. Listen, Derek, I'm double vaxxed. So is everybody that I know around here, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. But I can promise you that the last thing anybody out here could possibly want or desire is your fake sympathy.
Also, running down 2 provinces in which you literally have zero support and trying to pit other provinces in Canada against them is downright greasy. But then greasy's something I've come to completely expect from somebody like you. What were we talking about again?
Really bad.
Oh yeah, do you know who I feel really bad for? I feel really bad for families in Canada that are having a hard time dealing with 4.1% inflation because you can't figure out that printing money has consequences. I also feel bad for said families' children that are going to have to spend the rest of their natural born lives paying off what you're creating here in debt. I feel really bad for any business that's trade exposed that's been put at a global disadvantage because of your carbon pricing policies, which makes them compete with businesses on a global scale that have zero carbon pricing policies to deal with whatsoever. I feel really bad for Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor that have been detained in China for over 1,000 days. I feel really bad for any female that has ever experienced anything different by the hands of a self-proclaimed feminist such as yourself. I feel really bad for anybody that you left behind in Afghanistan that risked their lives to protect our troops while we were there serving. Speaking of troops, I feel really bad for any veterans or veterans' families that had to stand by and watch you stroke a check to Omar Khadr for $10.5 million while you told them that they were asking for much more than you could possibly give. And can you imagine being said veterans watching your Minister of Women and Gender Equality call the Taliban this?
Our brothers, the Taliban.
I feel really bad for families that had loved ones that spent their final days alone in the hospital because of COVID restrictions. They weren't allowed to go in and see them, and then had to turn around and watch you campaign inside of hospitals.
I feel really bad for the victims and the families of the victims of Flight PS-752 for which you have failed to launch a criminal investigation into.
Now I could go on, but most of all, I feel really bad for anybody that you have convinced that you deserve the right to hold the title of the Prime Minister of Canada after saying something like this.
We are going to make it easier for those provinces to move forward with vaccine certification and encourage people to get vaccinated because we will foot the bill for that.
We foot the bill, Derek. You don't. Taxpayers foot the bill. So where do we go from here? Well, my friends, you as a responsible Canadian, today, on Monday, September 20th, 2021, need to go out and vote. And how it works in Canada is you should have researched the candidates that are running in your riding, and you should go vote for the candidate that you feel will best represent your vision of Canada in Ottawa. Now, most people would be like, well, Quick Dick, you're voting Maverick, right? Well, Maverick and Quick Dick have got a lot in common, only in the sense that they just came a little bit too early. Maybe next election, but not this one. The only thing that matters in this election is seats. And though Maverick might not split the votes in the Conservative ridings that they run in, there's a chance that they'll take seats away from the only party that has a chance of ousting Justin Trudeau from being our Prime Minister. So I'm giving a single-use pencil stroke on a Conservative vote in my riding. It's one of the 2 best platforms, and it is the only party in Canada that has the chance to send a new Prime Minister to our world stage as Canadians who is not addicted to spending money. But ultimately, this is just my opinion. It's Quick Dick's Toonie. The cool thing about being in Canada is you're free to go vote for whoever you want to. I just cannot stomach another day with Justin Trudeau as our Prime Minister.
This is Quick Dick McDick signing off, reminding you it's time to move Canada forward, ho. And it must be done without Trudeau. Go vote! Catch you next time.